Today's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 9, day 15, day 20, day 27, day 38. Getting up early, waking up early, waking up early, waking up early, waking up early.
Alright, this was me like 3.5 years ago doing an experiment on my life. I was 17 at the time, and 6 months prior to this, I actually got a concussion necking on a trampoline. I know I didn't know you could do that either. But because of that, I couldn't do much up close work or any screens with my eyes, or else it would give me a massive headache. So I started listening to podcasts. Now I kind of touched on this in my last video, but I started listening to these ultra successful people talk about their lives, and it fascinated me. I began to wonder what it was exactly that set them apart, what they did daily that gave them such an advantage. One thing that I came across was that a ton of them said that they wake up early. I thought this was very interesting because being a teenage boy in high school, I absolutely hated waking up early, and I slept in every single chance that I got. But I wanted to see what the hype was about. So without giving much thought about what I was getting into, I challenged myself to wake up at 5 a.m. every day and work out for a month, just to see what would happen, just to see if there was any significance in this one thing that a lot of successful people say they do. Now, little did I know that embarking on this journey would literally change my life forever. Now, I could make a whole video on my experience with and the power of waking up early, but I shared this story with you because this specific challenge ended up being less about the action of waking up early and more about me discovering my potential. The first week into this 5 a.m. challenge, I was super motivated, so it wasn't that crazy. But the following weeks would become some of the most challenging I've ever had to face in my life up to that point. A complete loss of motivation left me fighting with everything that I had to keep going. I'd never been this uncomfortable, and I've never pushed myself this far before. And to be honest, to this day, I'm not even sure how or why I kept going, but I did. I was exhausted, unmotivated, and I never wanted to wake up early ever again in my life. But I kept pushing through. I would get up every day wanting nothing more than to go back to sleep. But I would get out of bed and go work out anyways. And that is when I began to learn exactly what I was capable of. After the initial 3 weeks, I started to get used to it. It became easier and easier to get up out of bed regardless of how I felt in the moment. It became habit, and I started to see results. Results physically from my consistent workouts, but more importantly, results mentally. Deep down, what this was doing for me was taking my dream of being successful, a dream which I assume you probably have as a young man watching this video, and it gave me proof that I was capable of doing the things required to achieve that dream of mine. Things that I never thought I would be able to do, I was doing. Waking up super early consistently, even though I hated waking up early and I could barely do it when I had to. Pushing myself to the absolute limit in my workouts like I've never had before. What this challenge did for me was it showed me my potential. And since then, I haven't been able to unsee it. It's like when they say when you see the light, you can't go back. It was the same thing for me. All of a sudden, the limits that I thought I had on myself were gone. It was gone. I knew I had the capability of doing the things that successful people do on a daily basis that give them that advantage, that have contributed to their success, that I can do that too. And that realization of my potential sparked many, many other challenges that have just continued to add to what I know today as my potential. Challenges like 6 months of no junk food that ran through 2 vacations, 4 holidays, and my birthday, along with only water, only cold showers. Challenges like 75 hard, waking up at 4:30 every day and going to the gym. Challenge after challenge that just continue to add proof that I was capable, that I have what it takes to do what's required. Now, words cannot describe to you how much, as a young man, these challenges, this proof, this realization of my potential has just incredibly changed my life. That's why I wanted to make this video, because especially as men, like, we have this drive to be all that we can be, to be successful, to provide, to conquer, take dominion, to push ourselves, to see what we're capable of. We need to know what we are capable of. As men, that's literally how we're wired. After seeing the light, so to speak, there are no more excuses, and there never will be. Because now I know what I'm capable of. I know my potential. I know that the limits that I once put on myself, they were imaginary. I know that, so there are no more excuses. So how do you get to this point as a young man maybe not yet fully realizing your true potential. To discover your potential, I think probably the most impactful thing you can possibly do is to challenge what you believe your limits are. Simply push yourself farther than you ever have before. Embark on a journey, an adventure, to learn truly who you are, who you have the potential to be. Practically, probably the best place you can start is the gym. The gym is a fantastic place where you can learn to push yourself. David Goggins has a quote. He says, "When you think you are done, you are only 40% into what your body's capable of doing." That's just the limits we put on ourselves. You need to realize that the mind gives up way before the body does. So learning how to push through the barrier that we set up in our minds at the point where we feel like giving up, like we can't go any farther, learning to push straight through that is how you're going to build the proof of your potential as you know it. Learn to go to failure in the gym. True failure, not being unsafe, do it with good form, but learn to go to the point where you actually can't go anymore. Most people, when they start out in the gym, at the point where you feel like you can't go any farther, you have a few more reps, easy. Because again, the mind gives up way before the body. You feel that discomfort, you feel that pain, and you try to convince yourself out of going through it because you know there's only more to come. So go to failure, push yourself farther than you ever have before. All right, cut out junk food for months and months. Try doing a cold plunge or a cold shower consistently. Wake up at 5 a.m. Push yourself to the absolute limit at the gym. By running through the limits that you put on yourself, you begin to understand that those are only imaginary, that actually you have the capability to do things that you never could have imagined doing. You will learn that you can be disciplined like you never thought, that you can handle incredible discomfort that you never thought you would be able to handle, and that you can do the crazy things required to achieve your insane dreams. The returns on your life that you get through putting yourself through these types of challenges, embarking on this kind of journey to figure out what you are truly capable of and finding your potential, the returns you get from this are literally unfathomable as a young man. That's why I wanted to make this video, because seriously, you watching this, you have to do this, man. You have to do this. It will quite literally change your whole entire life forever. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos. And let me know down below if you have any ideas or any videos that you'd like to see. And I'll see you guys next time.